What's up, guys? Sub-Zero here with another exclusive Set 12 playtest VOD review. This is, another game that came from my games in the playtest. And now you guys can see the beautiful opening carousel that we have here. This is something that sadly I didn't have in the last VOD for you guys, so sorry about that. But now you can see the carousel. And this was a really enjoyable game because I got to play Reroll this game. I tried a lot of different Reroll comps out on PBE, or not PBE, I guess P, but the P stands for private instead of public. And you can see right from the start, I said, okay, you know what? I got a bunch of Zoes and a bunch of Poppies. These are both Bastion, or these are both Witchcraft. These are both one-cost Witchcraft units. So immediately this idea is in my head, maybe I'll play a little Witchcraft reroll. And if you guys didn't catch my last VOD where I talked about what Witchcraft does, it is a really interesting synergy where you you debuff the enemy champions for the more Witchcraft you have in. So at 2 Witchcraft, when your Witchcrafts hit somebody, they give them minus 200 just flat HP, which is just a nice debuff. And yeah, I see too much candy, and I say, you know what? It's time for a Witchcraft reroll. I wanted to try out this Caramelized Comforts augment as well, which is a Sugarcraft augment. I didn't get to play around Sugarcraft that much on the beta, but all good. But I see, you know what, too much candy. I'm like, you know what, let's try it out. I guess I could have gone Learning to Spell as well, but I want to try out too much candy with these Witchcraft units. So you know what, I say I'm going to send it here. Maybe I could have picked up the Charm actually for a random effect so that I don't have this. I honestly just pick up this Charm to get it out of my shops so that I can roll down here and pick these guys up here. And I use my 6 rerolls. I slam Shojin onto Zoe, which is going to make her just a 2 auto cast, which is very nice. And like I talked about in the last VOD, these type of things, they carry over, like mana carries over if it overflows now. So it's not even that bad. I end up picking up Poppy here, and I want to use the rest of my rerolls on level 3 odds. So I say, you know what, I'm just going to roll down here with the rest of my odds, as much gold as I can, which honestly, I'm not sure if I should have done that because they're 1 gold rerolls. Maybe I could have waited around, but, or maybe like I could have waited till the end of the stage and then rolled the rest at 4, but all good. We end up getting another Poppy too, and we have 6 Poppies at this point. So at this point, I'm just trying to build out the board. I say I could roll for Jace and Lilia as well, and do more of like a Portals angle, but lucky for you guys, I'm not going to VOD review 2 Portals games with the few playtest games that I have to upload on main channel. This is more of, like I said, a Witchcraft reroll into Vertical Witchcraft game, which is really cool. Poppy's spell, I just hovered over it there, but it's basically she just gets a shield and then she slams down, so she's a pretty generic tank. And Zoe, her spell, she's 30 mana, so she's really quick to cast, and what she does is she gets rid of flat MR. She removes like 15 MR on her cast, and then I think when she gets to 3-star, she removes 20 MR on cast. So you want her to cast a lot, get people to very low MR values. I could see her maybe like a Blightning Jewel Zoe setup where she just gets people down to 0 mana or to 0 MR and starts casting a lot, though she doesn't have that DOT, so maybe not. I wanted to go for the Rod there, just get some kind of Zoe item, but I end up taking Tear here, which I'm thinking, like maybe you could go for like Val Poppy. I thought would be okay. This is actually a really cool one, this Minor Polymorph. What I found out about Minor Polymorph is it doesn't just transform 1-cost units, or it does transform 1 cost, but it doesn't just transform 1-star units. I could click this and it could potentially transform a Poppy into a 2-star Poppy. You could get basically like a mini recombobulator, which is really sick. Now, it doesn't give you a remover or anything like that, but I had situations where I had like a 2-star 1 cost, I clicked this and it turned into a 2-star 2 cost, and I was like, whoa, I mean, that's a huge benefit to my board. So honestly, like if I wasn't playing reroll, what I could do here is just sell my other 1 cost, take this, and then I guarantee have a 2-star 1 cost, which would be really cool. I'm in love, like I talked about. I'm in love with charms. I think they're really cool. Most of the people I've talked to about them during the playtest are pretty positive on them as well, though there's certainly some yapping about charms that happened. The other cool thing is we're playing playtest. A lot of people are playing weak boards, so check this out. We are going to 5 streak here with my Zoe reroll board. I mean, everything 2-star, you can see how this type of board would 5 streak. So yeah, it works out very well for me. I end up 5 streaking just with this really strong just Shojin Zoe, just absolute popping off. So very pleased with the opener that I've played. And yeah, at this point, I'm just thinking about getting into like Scholar for Zoe. I'm going to use the rest of my 1-cost rolls here because these are going to reset at the end of the stage. So I want to make sure I use as many of these as I can. And I know I'm just going to sell a lot of this stuff just to make sure. I basically at this point give up on Jace and say, yeah, I'm not going to go for like Jace 3. He's too far away. I'm just going to try to make as much gold as possible. I get dropped a Static Shiv and a Gargoyle here, and I say, you know what? Those sound like pretty good slams. I think I'm going to end up making both of these here. The Static Shiv's a little bit weird with Zoe because she already has that flat MR shred, but flat and percent, they do kind of work together, is that you'll shred them a percent and then do flat. It works not in the way that you would like, actually, where like they don't kind of like synergize, but they don't anti-synergize too badly. I also get this Dehance one, which is really, really nice. So I get all these 1 costs. And yeah, at this point, I'm just going to send it. I pick up a bard that I can play. Still looking for Lilia 3 as a possibility. And being very close to Zoe here, I use the rest of my rerolls and end up hitting Zoe as well here. So really, really pleased with this. And so yeah, now I'm just sitting here on a pretty good board. I don't really want to early level here, but I do want to keep my streak. So I end up slamming Static Shiv. And yeah, I mean, I'm hyped once all this stuff comes out to use like meta TFT and things like that to find out what true BIS is on these units, because I'll be real with you guys, I have no clue. I wait for much smarter people than me, and by smarter people I mean statistics, to figure that stuff out for me. Find Vintage and branching out I'm not interested in. This third augment though, Find Your Center, I'm actually really, really hyped to try out. Your champion starts combat in the center of the board and gains 15% damage and 12% max HP. This, I think, is great for Poppy. I just throw her in the middle. She has this gargoyle already. She's going to gain damage and max HP. There's also some other cool ones. Item Collector, so your units gain HP. For each different item equipped, your team gains additional HP, AD, and AP. So it's like, it scales with items type augment. And then Mentorship is a pretty cool one as well, where you have to have a higher cost unit next to them, and then that unit gets attack speed and HP. So if I put like a 2 cost in, then like right now this Zoe would be getting mentored by this Bard, and then if I put this Rumble in the front line, it could mentor my Poppy and my Lilia here is the idea. So yeah, kind of interesting. End up getting Sugarcraft in here, which like I talked about in the last VOD, so you know, if you miss it, check that out. I don't end up playing around at this game, so it's not really that relevant. Anything else I have to explain? I think I've talked about all these synergies. Scholar is 8 mana on every attack, and then Bastion is a reprint of Bastion in the past, where the units get armor and MR and then they get extra. But yeah, already in Team Planner, I say, you know what? I'd love to play around Vertical Witchcraft this game. I also take this golden deal here, so I end up dropping to 99 HP, which is funny because it's so unsatisfying to have 99 HP, and I opt to get Portal in here because, you know, pretty good synergy. I could end up selling this Lilia here, but I'm keeping the dream open for maybe like Lilia 3. I'm considering like, okay, what I could cut Lilia for something else. And the idea would be cut Lilia for Taric, and then I can get Portal in by potentially getting like a Jace in down the line is the idea. So yeah, like a random late game Jace for Portal, I figure out could, you know, synergize. I would get Shapeshifter in for Nico, so you know it kind of all works out as I build the board out, but we'll see what we end up on. At this point, I'm thinking I could take Nico here to guarantee the Witchcraft, but I can't get that. I was thinking I could take Rod here for like frontline item plus whatever, but I don't get any of that. So I say, you know what? Okay, I'll just take Giant's Belt here. This could be some kind of like Zoe item, like a Nashor's Tooth, I think would be really good on her to get her casting a lot. Or it could just be frontline item for Poppy. So yeah, it can kind of be whatever. I'm still trying to figure out what my strongest board is here, and I opt to just still play the Portal here, which is going to throw, if you didn't catch the last VOD, Portal throws out, oh, I will say, because we're only 8 minutes into this VOD, so this will probably hit more people. If you guys want to see more content from Set 12, check out my VODs channel. I have 2 6-hour VODs I'm going to post. I don't know, the second one might be posted by now, but 2 6-hour VODs of me playing the set, so 12 hours of content. If that's not enough Set 12 content, then I don't know what to tell you guys. This augment I really want to pick up because I want to keep my streak here, and it's a bunch of extra HP for Poppy. Wukong, I actually don't think I talked about in the last VOD, but Wukong's really cool. He is a druid, which basically is just a threat. So if you guys played set 8, threats were units who didn't have traits, but they were really, really strong synergistically. And so Wukong is exactly that. He has no traits, but he has a really, really strong ability. He's like kind of a tanky unit, but also like deals damage. And you can see here, he tanks up a lot. I end up winning this fight because I took the charm and leveled here, which feels so, so good because I get to keep my streak. I pick up Briar here as well, and I just want to use the rest of my 1-cost rerolls here to see if I pick up any Lilias or, you know, just anything on level 7. I really want to get in this 4 Witchcraft ideally here with the Nico, and it's Cassiopeia I'm missing, and I end up getting Cassiopeia here. So I say, you know what, I don't even have to roll anymore. I can get 4 Witchcraft in here. I get the Nashor's Tooth, so I opt to make that. And I just say, you know what, sure, Zoomify, 0 gold, why not pick this up to make my Poppy Zoom? And I make Steadfast Heart here just because, yeah, I want my Poppy to be tankier. Like I believe I mentioned this in the last pod, but for Witchcraft, what it does is now when I'm damaging cursed units, oh yeah, I can actually just go back and then you can see it all, which is helpful. When you deal damage to units that are cursed, it heals the lowest health witch for 15% damage taken. 6 is Frail, where they take 25% bonus true damage, and like I said, 8 is they turn into a frog, which stuns them for 2 seconds every 8 seconds, and also increases all the other curses, which is really cool. I want to, you know, like everything in TFT, I really want to try out all these verticals when I get a more of a chance to you know, play the set for longer. But yeah, I mean, huge win streak here. There's always a beast. I'm considering what to take here. Roll the dice. I don't really have a unit to hold it. Call to Chaos. I'm really afraid that I'm going to get some like trash garbage that doesn't work in my comp. And so I'm like, you know, Radiant Refractor here. One of the best Radiant items in the game is Radiant Static Shiv. I'm down to just take that, take a Radiant Static Shiv, and be happy with it. I never took this other one, by the way. I'm the Carry Now. It gives you a Sentinel with tailored offensive items. Yeah, I don't really know how this works. I would have loved to try it out at some point, but I never ended up in a spot where like I wanted to take it. But this looks like a really cool one. I'd be hyped to try that one out as well. But yeah, we get the Radiant Refractor, so I can just use this to make Radiant Static Shiv. I don't know what I'm looking at on the other monitor, honestly, because it's not like there's like stats for me to check or something. I don't know what I was looking at. Maybe I was looking at, I don't know, whatever. In any case, I end up cracking this open. I have this sword open, so I'm like, I think I just end up making like a Shojin here, and I'm like this, or, ooh, my thought initially was to do BT Poppy, but then I looked at how much damage this Poppy was doing, and she was doing nothing, basically. But, I mean, yeah, you see damage delta on the right there. Zoe's doing like 7k, and Poppy's doing like 1k, basically. So I'm like, yeah, I'm not about that. I'm going to sack one more round, and then level next round, and use my rolls to hopefully high roll and get 6 Witchcraft. If not, I can just add some other random stuff. I take this Charm here, which gives all of my units Giant Spells, which, like, I don't really understand this one, but sure, I get a bunch of random Giant Spells, so that's, like, fun, I guess. And yeah, I'm trying to build up my board here. I'm thinking I could add Preservers to this board. That would be something that I could add on level up, so that's an idea that I have. And just look at this Zoe go, man. I thought I had lost this fight, but she's healing herself with Witch, dealing 10k, just zoom casting with this Shojin. She's just an absolute monster, man. I was so pleased by how well Zoe did this game. Item-wise here, I just want to finish up my Poppy items, but I just don't get anything that I'm really that excited about. End up taking this Chain Vest here, and I'm like, I guess I can make Vow Poppy if I have to, and then figure out this sword. But yeah, I'm going to level at 8 here. I think about Conjure Anvil here, but then I say, I don't know if I think I don't end up taking this, yeah, because I really just want, like, combat here. I end up not getting combat, and that I get Major Wish here, but I do pick up Nora and Yuumi, who I talked about last video. I end up taking Nora and Yuumi right back out, because I do end up getting this Preserver in Zillion, who I'd rather have on the board. Preserver is a cool trait. I don't think I've talked about it at all, but it heals your units, your entire board, every few seconds. Preservers are double healed, and then if you overheal them, it turns to mana, I believe, is how it works. So if you're healing a full HP unit, you get mana instead. So it's nice on someone like Zoe to give her a little bit of extra mana, maybe get her to that next cast. It's also just like a lot of these units are very, very kind of like flexible, like random units that you can play in. Oh, and I also end up playing the Nora and Yuumi just for Portal here because it fits. So yeah, pretty happy with that. But yeah, you can see the Zoe here getting little bits of mana. And as you can see, like, the mana's overflowing. She's not just starting at 0 every time. She's starting at a little bit of mana every time, which is so smart. So cool of a change. I do end up picking up the Morgana, who is really the Preserver that I wanted to play because she fits very well into this board for Witchcraft. Want to get that 6 Witchcraft in, get that extra damage for my Zoe, really. End up picking up Fiora too here, which is really, really nice. And yeah, this is just going to be my board on level up. End up picking up another Morgana, and I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm just going to level here. I'm going to grab this Morgana. I have a duplicator, so I can make that if I want to. I really wanted to pick up this major polymorph, but I'm just afraid of it becoming something like bad. So I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to wait here. I thought for a bit, I end up making Redemption here because it's just a good frontline item. I thought for a bit about duplicating this Morgana, but I say, you know what? I'm in such a strong spot. I'm just going to wait here. I have this duplicator. If I find, like, I'm going to use the rest of my free rerolls next round, and then if I find another Nora and Yuumi, then I can do Morg. If I find another Morg, then I can do Nora and Yuumi. So, looks good. I also just end up taking this so I don't, like, lose my shop slot to this. End up just selling the double Zillion for this, and then I find Nora and Yuumi, so I can say, okay, GG's, I will duplicate the Morgana, and look at my spot, man. Level 9, found all this stuff. Still win streaking, by the way, just winning every single fight. I'm just destroying everybody, basically. Oh, this guy got Spite on his support dummy, which you would think sucks, but Spite has actually been changed. Spite is now, it's like a Randowins, but it gives AD and AP, and then when the unit with Spite dies, it stuns units around them. So it still has similar identity, but it's got that kind of like AD and AP effect, where like if I put, you know, Spite here, it would buff all of these units AD and AP. So pretty cool, honestly. I really like the new direction for Spite. I think it's a lot more useful than previously. So all good. We still have our Zoe here, just sitting, just throwing just everything at everyone. Just look at this Zoe go. We're fighting a Xerath there on the other side. If you're curious what that was the entire time, that was Xerath, who shoots like 10 times or something. Yeah, he just does. He just shoots a bunch. It does damage. He also gives you better charms. Is like the big thing. Item-wise here, I mean, this is the only takeable. I did not want to take a random emblem that does nothing, so I end up taking Guardbreaker for Morgana. Morgana's like, you can see I have her second row here because she's only 2 range. She shields herself, so she does damage, but she's also like kind of tanky. She sends these bats out that, like I talked about last video, can abduct enemy units and bring them to your bench, so you get like a free copy of a unit. I believe that ended up happening at some point this game, though, you know, who's to say. You can see the bats flying around a little bit, but this is 2x speed, so such is life. Hey, if you want to see the 1x speed of the VOD, go check out the link for my my VODs on my VOD channel. But yeah, I mean, at this point, we are still win streaking, by the way. We have not lost a single fight. I ended up picking up Sunfire Sorcery, which is fantastic for us because we never built Heal Cut this game, which was kind of a miss for me. I probably could have built it at some point. And I'm really scared of this board here, this board, which is Vex plus Veigar, like mage reroll, because Veigar is a unit that scales. Veigar's a really, really cool unit that scales his AP with the number of charms you bought. So he scales, you know, across the course of the entire game. And so, like, you know, the further they get into the game, the stronger Veigar is going to be. And he's also just 3-star, 3-cost backline and frontline should generally be stronger than 3-star 1-cost. But of course, I'm level 9. I have a bunch of 5-costs in, so I got a lot of good stuff going for me. But yeah, we're going to pick up our last few items here. At this point, I'm like, I could probably just go level 10 here. We get a blue buff from our Morgana here. I really would have liked like a Morello, but yeah, I mean, a blue buff's fine enough. And I'm just, you know, saying my board's probably strong enough. I can just level next round, get a like a Briar in for Shapeshifter. I could get another Incanter in because those stack up. Or Preserver, not Incanter. Sorry, look, it's still early on. I think I'm gonna lose this fight, by the way, but just look at the Zoe go, man. 11k damage, just getting all these casts off. She's just a monster. She's actually just a monster. So yeah, I put these Incanter or Preservers into my team planner here along with the Briar because I know next round I'm gonna level up, roll down, try to pick something up. But I mean, I'm not too afraid. Like, just look how strong my board is. I'm destroying everybody. I end up fighting this board, which is like a fairies board. I haven't talked too much about fairies, but this, you can see on Callista that item with 12 stacks is like the fairy damage item, and there's also a fairy tank item you get at 6 fairies, which is really, really cool. So yeah, I put Xerath in here for a sec to maybe get one of Xerath's like special charms, but I opt to sell him the second I end up picking up a Briar here who's Shapeshifter, and then I get the Zillion in for 3 Preserver, and I say, you know what, that's good enough. Rakan's actually slightly better, so I end up getting him in, but I'm not too afraid at this point. We're on a 22 streak, just destroying the entire lobby with Zoe Reroll, and I love just watching the Zoe just cast. She's just insta-casting on everyone and just destroying the entire lobby. So yeah, sorry that the game was so short. Only to 6-3 we get there, but I mean it's just because I'm a beast. Sorry, I have to apologize for how good I am. But yeah, a really fun game. Oh yeah, there's no post-match history, sadly, because we're on playtest. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like I said, if you want more set 12 content, check out the link in the description. PBE is coming out actually probably the day that I release this video, actually. So you guys will have that to play, and I'll be potentially streaming that. So that'll be really fun. And yeah, I'm hyped. I'm hyped for set 12. So see you guys later. Bye.